Despite the proven benefits, diversity continues to be one of the most elusive challenges in our sport. Though such diversity brings remarkable vitality and energy to any program or organization, it also poses great challenges.
Part of our mission is the strength of lacrosse as a team sport for kids. And essential to that mission is its accessibility and availability to as many kids as possible. It's our responsibility to try to develop programming and resources to expose every kid to the sport because of all the positive benefits a great lacrosse experience provides.
Well, I think the programs that are most successful that I've seen are the programs that are really understanding that diversity is something they can highlight.
Same reason we need a left-handed attackman and a right-handed attackman. We need to bring in kids from different backgrounds and different experiences and different socioeconomic situations, just like the University of Pennsylvania does. It makes the group stronger if you bring people in with different experiences. They're going to bring different things to the table.
When I started out coaching, for me, the most important thing was that I learned the sport correctly and that I be knowledgeable about the ins and outs of the rules and regulations. What blew me away was that I didn't understand the details of human beings and how they interact and how that would impact how effective my team would be in winning championships, how effective that would be in building teams.
It makes coaches more effective if they can understand where people come from, because those are the things that shape them and that drive them and motivate them, and in order to include them you have to understand that, and with that inclusion the coach is able to have such a tighter knit team and really bring together everyone as a whole.
Many coaches find themselves saying, "We know inclusivity is important and we value that in our program, but where should we start?" In order to maximize teamwork and success, it's up to us coaches to find that answer.
We need to make an effort to make sure our team is inclusive, and that means people aren't just showing up. You don't just have a person of color or a person with a disability or a person from a different geography. You have a person who has a voice, and we're learning from that person. And that's where inclusion changes just allowing somebody to show up. They are part of the conversation. So I need to get to know the person before I grow the person. And I think a lot of coaches need to get back to the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are relationship building. And then learning the sport is just as effective.
We can all help each other and learn about each other and what we do and what we do outside of school. Coaches can do group activities and partner two people up, and they will have to talk about it. It will help them communicate better and learn about each other's backgrounds.
I think the one thing that they did that I really liked was just making sure that I was always included. That it's just more so you're a part of this team, and I want to make sure that you're always feeling that way no matter what.
Diversity is all-encompassing, so there's a lot of different diversities and everyone has their own unique story. So that could be age, gender, orientation, background. And so we want to make sure when we think of diversity, it's bigger.
Diversity, it means there's something different about that person or a group of people, because myself, I'm dyslexic, and it does make me diverse in a way of how I learn.
It's not that he can't learn, it's that he learns differently. So if you show someone a diagram or written words about something, that doesn't mean very much. But when you move through the things and you can see it visually, he is able to pick it up very easily, and his ability to see things differently, I think, is an advantage on the field, because he's able to see things a couple moves ahead, because that's how his brain thinks.
The coach would always yell at me and ask why can't you understand this? Why don't you get this? And I couldn't answer that because of my dyslexia. The one thing I have to tell the coach is just to adapt to their team or the players they have. Is not every kid learns verbally.
It's very important with diversity and inclusion that we don't feel sorry for people, or we don't look at them as, oh, I have to come save them. It's more as, this is another human being, and whether I can see their diversity on the outside or whether I have to learn their diversity on the inside, I'm going to start by asking them a question.
You know what, you reach out and you ask questions. Nobody knows everything, so anytime something new comes across your desk, rather than push it aside, find a way to make it work. Reach out to coaches throughout your league, or reach out to coaches at the club level, and you can go from sport to sport. It doesn't have to just be lacrosse. I mean, coaching, a lot of elements of coaching transfers over to every single sport, and find someone that maybe had that situation or a similar situation. I think everyone deserves a shot to participate in all athletics, and rather than push it to the side or say, no, I can't, find a way to say, yes, I can.
The thing about my program is primarily it's a safe environment.
The coolest part about adaptive lacrosse to me is that it is one of the most challenging lacrosse experiences, but one of the most rewarding. What I've seen is that it actually is the epitome of what we're teaching in diversity inclusion, because you have no choice but to get to know each kid and their challenges and their circumstances. You have to engage with the parents and understand their background, the history, what they can and they can't do. And I think oftentimes us as coaches in mainstream lacrosse, we overlook that because we think we can coach and teach and focus every kid the same way.
Marty does make sure that everyone on the team feels important. Every one of them is completely different than the one next to them, because each disability, even if it's the same thing, even if it's cerebral palsy in the wheelchair, each one of those kids is completely different. But Marty makes sure that every one of them gets a chance to do everything. And all of them like to score a goal. And so for them just to get up to that net and to be able to get it in there, just the look on their face, the smile that they have, is what it's all about.
I feel I'm a part of the team. People look at me and say, that kid can't play lacrosse, but I prove anybody can play lacrosse if they want to.
Just talk to the kids. I mean, that's what Marty does. He just goes over right away. The new person who comes in, he goes over, he talks to them. He helps form a relationship right off the bat, and so they have confidence in him, and so he just makes them feel like they can do it.
You know what's great, and I've coached in the in a rec setting, and the measure of success was always the W, and the measure of success was always their child's accomplishments, and that's wonderful. That's great, and that's a developmental opportunity for the kids. You know, with the adaptive experience that I've had, this success is being there. The success is playing. The success is being accepted. The success is the joy of playing. In a lot of ways, what I experience in working with these kids and having a lot of different lacrosse experiences through the years is that this is the purest manifestation of the game. It's playing not for ego, not for advancing yourself. It's playing because there's a joy in playing. And to share that joy with others is, to me, it's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle.
This is what's right with the sport. This is what, a lot of us coaches should take some examples and some life lessons from these groups and integrate that into our own programs.
Don't stereotype kids. Don't think because, my son looks like, the average kid at a school that he is the average kid at the school. It's important to understand that we all have, things that we bring to the table, and we can learn from each other on so many different things.
You want to make every kid feel welcome on the team, and coaches should recognize this to make everybody feel comfortable.
So basically include everybody. Everybody of every culture, accept them, include them, no matter what race, age, gender, anything. But to be included in everything it's great.
Quite frankly, everybody has challenges. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody could have an issue at home. There are a lot of different challenges in this world that people bring to a lacrosse field. And it's important, aside from a cognitive or a physical challenge, to know the player and what they might be carrying with them to a practice field, to a game, and to understand and support them.